Hey guys, today I'm here to show you how accuracy and dodge works in Pirate 101. To begin, we need to understand the formula, which is composed by the number 75 plus the attacker's accuracy minus the enemy's dodge. The result of this equation is going to be your chance of successfully hitting the enemy percent. Let's put that into practice. In this example, we're going to have El Toro perform a couple hits in Gracie Conrad. Let's see what is his successful rate of attacking her. First, we're going to put the number 75, that never changes. Then we're going to add El Toro's accuracy, and we're going to reduce Gracie's Conrad dodge. The result of this equation is going to be 75%, meaning that every 100 hits El Toro performs in Gracie Conrad, 75 hits will successfully hit her, while 25 will miss her. In the second example, let's have Gracie Conrad perform a couple hits in El Toro. Since El Toro's dodge is a little bit higher than Gracie's Conrad, which is 139, if we add 75 to 118, which is Gracie's Conrad accuracy, we're going to have 193. And if we reduce 139 out of that, we're going to have 54%, meaning that when Gracie hits El Toro, she's going to miss a lot more than he would miss on her, and that is because his dodge is higher than her dodge. However, in the game we have the 5% rule that is not very familiar among the players, and the 5% rule says that no matter how high your accuracy is, the enemy target will always have at least 5% chance of dodging an attack. Therefore, the chance of successfully hitting the target can never go higher than 95%, and the same rule also says that no matter how high your dodge is, the enemy's target will always have at least 5% chance of successfully hitting you. Therefore, the enemy chance of successfully hitting you can never go lower than 5%, and vice versa. So in this next combat, for example, if we get a unit that has 141 accuracy and add the 75 to it, and also reduce the enemy's dodge, which in this case is a lot lower than average, we're going to have a total of 126%. By theory, every time a number is higher than 100%, you should never miss. However, with the 5% rule, the actual chance of hitting this target in this example is going to be 95%, because remember, the chance can never go above 95%, because the enemy always have at least 5% chance of dodging an attack. And if you guys can observe, this crab, or this attacker, is actually wasting 31 points of accuracy. But in this case, we can't really modify the accuracy that much because that's the base. However, if this was a pirate, we could be using this extra 31 accuracy into something else. Let's say that you're using one of those rings that give you 10 accuracy on your pirate. And in this example, let's pretend that your pirate is the one with 141 accuracy and you're fighting this enemy with 90 dodge. In this case, for this specific battle, you can actually remove that equipment and get another equipment that will give you a more interesting ability or power rather than the accuracy that you're actually wasting when you're fighting this enemy in specific. And in this other example, you guys are going to see that having too much dodge doesn't necessarily help if the enemy you're fighting doesn't have that much accuracy. So again, we have Gracie Conrad with 118 accuracy plus 75 that never changes. And in this case, she's fighting a pirate that has 199 dodge. The result of this equation is going to be minus 6%. And whenever we have a case where the enemy's dodge is just so high compared to our accuracy, if it reaches 0 or below, you should never be able to hit that target. Of course, we're not accounting any critical possibilities here, but just to keep it simple for now, let's just play along. In theory, she should never be able to hit the pirate. However, again, with the 5% rule, the actual chance of her hitting, instead of being minus 6%, it's actually 5% because of the 5% rule. Therefore, this pirate in specific, while fighting Gracie Conrad, is wasting 11 points of dodge. And why is this knowledge useful for you? Well, because if you're fighting a specific boss and you figure out how much dodge they have, you know that you're going to need a specific number of accuracy, and anything beyond that is not necessarily helping you because it's capped at 95%. Therefore, if you have pieces of gear that's giving you more stats than you need, you can just unequip that and actually get a piece of gear that gives you some cool power, like a shield or a nice hit, among other things. Now, to make this a little bit easier, I also made a chart which shows the base stats of each class. So as you guys can see, Buccaneers, Privateers, and Swashbucklers are going to have average accuracy. Musketeers are always going to have 20 points above average, and Witch Doctor enemies and companions are going to have 25 points below the average. However, this does not apply for the pirate in specific because for some reason the pirate itself is going to have average accuracy. However, companions and enemies that are witch doctors are going to have a negative 25 points compared to the average. So you might ask me, okay, but how much is average? And that answer depends on your level. So an average accuracy for a pirate that is level 10 is going to be different from an average accuracy from a pirate that is level 50, and same thing for max level. Currently, the max level is 70 as I'm making this video, and the average accuracy and dodge are going to be 115, meaning that in this example, Musketeers are going to have 135 points of accuracy, and Witch Doctors are going to have 90 points of accuracy. Same thing for the dodge chart. Buccaneers and Privateers are going to have the average. So if your max level, as I'm making this video, level 70, is going to be 115. The range classes, Witch Doctor and Musketeer, are going to have a negative 25 points over the average, which is going to be 90 at level 70. And Swashbucklers are going to have 20 points above the average. So again, if the average at level 70 is 115, Swashbucklers are going to have 135, Witch Doctors and Musketeers are going to have 90 points of dodge. I also made a little chart so you can see how the accuracy interacts with each class in particular. The way you're going to read this is from the orange to the blue. And if you're wondering why I have 210, 190, and 165, is because your accuracy is not only your base, we have to add the 75, which is the base chance of hitting a target, onto our accuracy and then reduced by the enemy's dodge. So if we have 115 plus 75, we have 190, which is the average accuracy for most classes. But remember, Musketeers are always going to have 20 points above that, so 20 points above 190 is going to be 210, and Witch Doctors are going to have a negative 25 accuracy. Remember, that does not apply to the pirates, only to companions and enemies. So at level 70, a Musketeer with 210 accuracy, that is with the 75 points added, when hitting a Buccaneer is going to have a 95% chance. When hitting another Musketeer is going to have a number that is actually higher than 95. However, remember, due to the 5% rule, the chance cannot go over 95%. Therefore, Musketeers actually waste a little bit of their stat when attacking other Musketeers or Witch Doctors. For Privateers, that's also going to be 95%. And Swashbucklers, it's going to be a 75% chance. Remember, in this graphic, we are not using any gear or powers that are increasing your stats. We're just using the base stats itself. For the average classes, you can see that the chance of hitting averages around 75%, and Witch Doctors, companions, and enemies are going to have the hardest time hitting other classes. But at the end of the day, how much accuracy do you need? And if you just want a short answer, it's going to be you only need 20 points of accuracy higher than your enemy's target dodge for the best efficiency you can get. Therefore, if my enemy has 150 dodge, how much is 20 points above that? 170. So if you have 170 fighting this particular enemy, you have your maximum accuracy efficiency, and every point you get above that, you're just wasting. You can get something else. And when it comes to dodge, it's a little bit more difficult because uh, if you want to have the maximum efficiency of dodging an enemy, you need to have 70 points of dodge higher than your target's accuracy. If your enemy has 100 accuracy, if you want to have your maximum efficiency of dodge, you're going to need 170 dodge, which is very difficult to attain, at least with gear. However, you don't really have to go that deep. You're probably going to sacrifice a lot of nice piece of gear just to have this much dodge. My recommendation is for you to have at least 26 points of dodge higher than your target's accuracy. And why is that? Because if you have 26 points of dodge higher than your enemy's accuracy, that means that we go to a 51-49 realm where you have 51% chance of dodging an enemy's attack. And if you think about it, that is more than half, meaning that the odds are in your favor. You're going to dodge more than your enemy is going to hit you. And to me, if you're really chasing after dodge, that should place you in a good spot where you're dodging enough to survive in a fight. But don't forget, currently in the game, there are several ways to manipulate accuracy and dodge. We have powers such as Spirit the Corpse that's provided by El Toro, or if you're Privateer, we also have those accurate and dodgy talents that you get every time a companion gets 4 levels. We also have Turn the Tide, we have Reddit Spell, and also, let's not forget about Elusive. That is a great way for you to achieve your maximum potential of dodge. However, that's only going to work when you're half health or below. Anyways, to wrap things up, I hope you guys understood how accuracy and dodge works. And from now on, remember, if you're fighting a specific boss for a long period of time, try to figure out how much dodge that enemy has so that you can set up your pirates that you're going to have the best efficiency farming that boss. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I plan on making more videos explaining about other mechanics that are not familiar to everybody. So if you would like to learn more, stay tuned. I hope you guys have a great day and stay safe.